Get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
For the first time, it doesn't look like a superstar handling a problem. It looks like a man losing control right in front of us. Every word in that short phone call shows fear, panic, and the feeling that his usual tricks won't work anymore. And while he's struggling in that hotel room, the people who once supported him are finally telling their own stories. One of the strongest voices is Kenna Harper, the bad boy and dirty money artist who says she saw both sides of him, the charming public version and the cold, selfish one behind closed doors.
Sean Combs is an asshole. He is the motherfucker you're not gonna like and you're not gonna get along with if he doesn't get his way. He quickly became my hero.
Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
If y'all had a chance to meet this guy, you would be like, this energy is everything. I gotta get up and go. I gotta get up and do it.
What's next? What's next? I gotta get it. I'm not gonna stay down.
He was presenting this freedom that black people hadn't had. Like, we hadn't experienced a black man being able to say, I don't want that. So when I first met him, he quickly became the guy I wanted to be.
Kenna speaks like someone who lived inside his world, not someone watching from a distance. She says working with him meant dealing with a man who could be sweet in public, but harsh, selfish, and controlling in private. The environment around him felt toxic, constant pressure to stay quiet, make money, and accept bad behavior if you wanted to keep your place. Even when she didn't see everything that others now claim, she still felt his control, mood swings, and how he used loyalty to trap people. Her story makes his panic in that hotel room feel heavier, and she isn't alone. Aubrey O'Day from Danity Kane goes even further, saying he didn't just want success, he wanted to control everyone around him.
Leader in that way, it's admirable until you get to the point where you want to control everyone around you. He got to that point.
Aubrey describes a man who needed to control the room, the story, and the people in it. She says working with him didn't feel like a normal artist-labeled relationship. Instead, it felt like he was always testing how far he could push her, her image, her body, even her personal boundaries. Defying him meant risking your entire career. Going along with him meant losing pieces of yourself. Her story adds a new level of danger to the picture. And if Aubrey shows how he treated artists, Roger Bonds, his former head of security, shows how deep that control went behind the scenes. Bonds says that as Diddy's fame grew, so did his belief that he could control anything and anyone.
It's like the more money he got, the more power he got, the more power he got, the more money he got. And he always felt like money can get him out of everything.
Roger Bonds describes a man who fed on power. As the fame, money, and access grew, Diddy started acting like there was no limit. Anything could be bought, hidden, or covered up. Bonds talks about private jets, secret doctors, and quiet payouts used to keep problems away and people quiet. He makes it clear this wasn't just ego, it was a mindset. If he could control it, it was his. Hearing this from the man hired to protect him makes the entire story darker. Then you hear from someone even closer to Diddy's day-to-day life, Capricorn Clark, his former personal assistant. She says Diddy wasn't just living a story, he was writing it, always casting himself as the unbeatable hero.
He's creating a narrative always. He is the best storyteller in hip-hop. He thinks he's Black Superman. I can do what I want.
Capricorn says he treated life like a script where he was always the center, the unstoppable figure in hip-hop who could move people, money, and even danger however he wanted. She helped him build that image, even while seeing the fear, anger, and violence behind the scenes. After hearing Bonds describe his hunger for power, her story makes it clear this wasn't chaos. It was a planned image of total control. That's when Mark Curry, another bad boy artist, steps in with a warning that sounds like a final judgment. He says you can't keep hurting people and expect no consequences. To him, the lawsuits, raids, and this documentary feel like the bill finally arriving.
There from the very beginning with the invention of Sean Combs. I co-founded Bad Boy with Sean. I was dazzled by his ideas and his unique talent. But he was a very different Sean Combs back then. Sean was 19 when he dropped out of Howard University. He wanted to be in the flashy, swaggy music industry. He started off dancing, wanting to be in videos, wanting to be a pop culture mover and shaker at a time where things were changing.
The story goes back to the very beginning to Kirk Burton. The co-founder of Bad Boy Kirk remembers meeting a 19-year-old Sean Combs, a college dropout full of energy and ambition. He wasn't a powerful mogul yet. He was just a kid desperate to get into the industry while hip-hop and R&B were exploding. Kirk makes it clear that Bad Boy didn't start as a villain story. It started with two hungry young men chasing a dream. But even in those early days, something about Sean stood out: his obsession with power.
He didn't drink alcohol. He forbade marijuana. He did not like drugs. He had the Gumby and he looked like a scholastic dweeb.
But Sean was so determined.
I'll be sure. They had all the money and all the power, and I was like, I don't know what they did, but that's what I want to do.
I got to Uptown a few months after Sean did, and I saw him being built into cool. He had to go through the Uptown.
Kirk says Sean didn't drink or do drugs. His addiction was power. He remembers Sean pointing at artists like Heavy D and saying he wanted the same money, status, and influence. Bit by bit, Kirk watched him shift from wanting to be in the room to wanting to own the room. He doesn't deny Sean's work ethic. In fact, that made everything more intense. Sean was so driven that reality had to bend around him. But Kirk adds a warning: people are shaped by love or pain. And when someone has more pain than love, their hunger can turn dangerous. He believes that mix of pain and ambition is what laid the foundation for how Sean treated people later.
On Combs during that time, he was tenacious. You would ask him to turn Wednesday into Tuesday, he would set about doing it. People shaped by pain, as well as by love. And if it was more pain than love, watch out. It's going to be pain that you're going to give others, because you're responding to that pain that you just can't seem to cut out of you.
Kirk says Sean was so determined that if you told him to turn Tuesday into Wednesday, he would somehow make it happen. That kind of drive can build empires, but it can destroy people too. Kirk says that when someone refuses to accept no, it becomes dangerous. He describes this drive like watching a storm grow. Then he tells the first moment where Sean's ambition clearly crossed a line, something that changed how he looked at him forever.
Sean was in his office, and I'm in a little cubby hole around the corner. He buzzes me. So I get up and I go in with my papers and go. A girl is giving him a job at the desk. He wanted me to see that. He wanted me to see her face. And then he was able to get her to do that right then and there in the office. She leaves. What did you want me for? I didn't want you for anything. That was the beginning for me to see. So the seeds for all of this was early on. And that came from people in the industry co-signing his activity because it brought money in.
Kirk remembers Sean buzzing him into the office one day. When he walked in, he saw a woman giving Sean an injection. He says it felt like Sean wanted him to witness it, like a show of what he could do and what he could get away with. To Kirk, that moment wasn't really about drugs. It was about the people around Sean: executives, insiders, friends who kept agreeing with his behavior because the money was flowing. That quiet scene became a symbol of everything that followed. The more extreme the behavior, the more people looked away, as long as the checks kept coming. And then Kirk says, things got physical, showing just how far Sean was willing to go when he wanted control.
Sean walks in. He had a baseball bat and a big attaché case suitcase with the snaps on it. Stocks were there.
We in a hustle, we in a grind, do your job, whatever your...
He wanted me to sign my 25% over. And Diddy's over me like this. He wants to stop that. He wants it now. He said, there's a business deal I need to take care of. I need to do this. I need to get this all on one side, but I'll give it back to you. I'm gonna give it back to you. And he threatened until I did. People always say to me, why would you do that? Like, why did you do that? Like, that was, I didn't want to give it back. I wanted to stay in good graces. I still wanted to be at the company. It wasn't like he was firing me, but I was definitely confused by it. It might sound strange, but if you've ever built something and you want it to last, you think about how to make it last.